Alright, it's been a while. I think this is going to be, I'm going to do the update in this video of the demonic investigation that I did with my client in San Antonio. I gave myself like a day to recharge, and I really didn't do much of anything yesterday. I just let myself recharge, basically. I did a lot of resting, relaxing, meditations and grounding, cleansings, and that's basically it. And I just let myself rebalance and get all my energy back, calm and collected, before I went ahead and made the final update on this whole case. So I did take pictures. I'm sorry I did not get a video for y'all of the client's house. He was not okay with me filming there. So I went ahead and I didn't break his rules when I was in there alone and stuff. But I did take pictures. He did allow that, and I did capture orbs in some of the pictures as well. So I will be posting those to Facebook, to my Facebook group, and to my profile. If you guys want to see the pictures of his house, and also the ones of his tire shop that had the orbs, that had much more orbs because there was a portal there, you can add me, or you can request to be in the group. I did set the group to private recently, so I'm not sure if you click on the link now in the channel that leads to the group, if that link even works anymore, because I did set the group to private. So I think that means you have to be invited there by someone who's already in the group. So you're better off just adding me, probably, which that's also linked to my channel on Facebook. So you can add me there, and I'll invite you to the group. Just message me, and yeah. You do have to add me as a friend on Facebook before I can invite you to the group. You can't just message me. That would go to my other folder on Facebook messages, and I usually don't see those. Or if I do, and you're requesting to be added to the group, I still have to add you as a friend first before I can invite you. So just send me a friend request and a message, okay? If you want to see these pictures. Alright. So let me just tell y'all what happened whenever I was there with my mom and my witchy friend. Basically, there was 3 entities there. I'm going to call them demonic entities, because that's just the words I use to describe these lower vibrational evil beings. When I consider a being that just has malicious, evil intentions towards humans, I just call it a demon. Okay, I know there's different categories, and there's different classes of these low vibrational entities. There's different kinds and races and all of this, but I just call them all demons, okay? So first thing, when I got there to his house, I did the tarot reading to gather more information and insight as to what really was all going on, y'all. And hopefully I figured out why I was getting... Sorry, y'all. This is just a side note. Hopefully I figured out why I was getting cut off at the 20-minute mark constantly with these videos, because it was the quality of the pixels and stuff. So what I did was I switched the settings on the camera to do lower quality, and it's telling me that I have like 4 hours and such to record all this. So hopefully it doesn't cut me off in 20 minutes. If it gets cut off, I'll just pick up where I left off. But okay, so I did the tarot reading at his house. I found out some more information about the person who did curse him, that it was connected to what the cards were showing me was that a woman from the past was a major factor in why he was cursed, and it ended up being his sister. Basically, that growing up in the same town as the witch who cursed him was another male witch, or it was a male witch, and they became friends through my client's sister. The sister and the witch were friends as children. The male witch developed feelings for the sister. They were not reciprocated. So in retaliation, the witch ended up cursing the sister, and by extension also cursed my client, which is the brother of the sister. So we found out why and all of that through the tarot reading. And when I told him what the cards were saying, he was like shocked because he had not told me any information yet about that. And basically, this old friend who was the witch, y'all, he called my client on the blood moon after over like a year or so of not talking to him or being associated or being close or anything. He called on the blood moon, and in the midst of their short little conversation, my client says that his voice changed, his tone changed, and he says, "Did you see the moon drop?" And what an odd thing to say, because the moon doesn't drop. So he called my client around midnight on the blood moon and said, "Did you see the moon drop?" in this like weird tone. So the problems with my client, he said, started about 15 days or so before the blood moon. And y'all, as we know as witches, the cycle from the dark moon to the full moon is about 15 days long. So I came to the conclusion that this male witch, who ends up being a Palo Mayombe witch, and has an altar to Santa Muerte and stuff like that, he placed a curse on my client, and he started it on the dark moon and completed it by calling my client on the blood moon itself, which the blood moon took place on a full moon, and made that one-on-one connection by calling him a voice to voice and saying the final part of the spell. And yeah, that's when it all started for him, for my client. So this is basically just all confirmed in the tarot reading and stuff, all my suspicions and everything. And so we proceeded with the cleansing work, which that began by, I had my client take a spiritual bath that I had prepared with certain herbs and stuff. While he was doing that, I walked around the house sensing, whatever I felt there. I took pictures and all that. Like I told you, I got pictures of orbs during all this, and or during this walkthrough was when I got the pictures of the orbs. And when he was done with his bath, I basically told him what all I sensed everywhere. And once again, he was shocked because he had not told me the specifics of where he was sensing everything, but everything where I pointed out was exactly where he was seeing these demons and stuff like that. So the next step that we proceeded with was to sage the house. We invoked Archangel Michael to be present with us and to be rid of the demons and to break the curse. And that was on the property and on the house, as well as on the client. So, and we did all that. During the first initial saging of the house, the demon did push me. There was 3 demons there, One was in the washroom, and I felt like that was the weakest one, that was the easiest to get rid of. Another demon was focused over my client's bed where he shared with his wife, and that one was trying to break them up and cause conflict and quarrel between them. And its energy was focused over their bed. And that one was pretty strong. And then the final demon, which I think was the strongest, was actually in their son's room over his bed. And that was the strongest one. And when I went in the room saging, it actually pushed me against the wall. And y'all, this is new to me because in all my years of experience with these different beings and spirits, I've never been physically attacked by one. And I've done a lot of cleansings, y'all. This is not, by far, this is not my first cleansing of someone's house or of like dark magic that's been placed on them and stuff. But this was probably the strongest, I guess, because it did push me against the wall. And I had went in that room by myself with a sage. So I came out of there and I was like, okay, we all three, talking to my mom and my witchy friend, I was like, we all three need to go in there together to confront this demon. And so we did, and it ended up being that it had formed a portal. Or not necessarily. Actually, it was trying to create a portal over the son's bed. And that son happened to be 13 years old at this time. So, you know, if you, in case you don't know, when a person turns 13, in most cases, when there's poltergeist activity in a house and these other things that are paranormal, it usually centers around a child that's happening to be around the age of 13. So I think that I was trying to get to him, y'all, and it was trying to open a portal right where his bed was. So basically what I'm thinking is that it was harvesting the energy of that 13-year-old boy, and it was trying to use the energy that's released to open a portal. So it was bizarre the way that went down. Y'all, it's storming outside right now, and I'm just looking at my neighbor's house. She looks like she ordered pizza. But anyway, so we got rid of all that. We sealed the house with protections and all this other stuff. We cleansed all the children and the wife and all of that. We left a St. Michael candle burning, and we told them that if anything is to happen there again, which we're pretty sure it's not going to happen after we did all the work, but if something does persist, just in case, we told them to burn more St. Michael candles and just pray to him, and don't be scared of anything. That's the main thing, because fear feels the power of curses. It's more better for you to stand up to a curse than it is for you to be fearful of it. So the final thing that we did after banishing what was there, after protecting and sealing the home, the final thing that we did was the fiery wall of protection ritual for the entire family against this evil witch. That way, in the future, if he tries to curse them again, it wouldn't work. So we invoked Archangel Michael in that ritual to just be present with them, and for his angels to be present with them in their home, to constantly be defending them against the curses of the specific witch that sent the curses. And the client did ask me if I would do similar work for his sister, who is actually suffering the main brunt of the curse. Like, her life is completely in shambles right now, like way worse off than my client was. These spirits are just were just tormenting my client and sparing him and his family, but the sister is actually in ruin right now, her whole life, and her kids are suffering. And she actually lives in Mexico where this other witch lives as well. So she's suffering the most right now. And I told my client, yes, if he can get the sister to send personal items and object links, I can do work for her, you know, from here, from my home. I can do these rituals to protect her and break the curses on her and send her into spirit baths and cleansing baths and stuff like that. So that might be the next chapter of this work. It seems like it's all leading to another thing, to another thing, to another thing. So that's pretty interesting. I thought I would share that with y'all. Now let me check that this isn't going to cut off or anything. You know what? It looks like it's still putting me on the 20-minute limit anyways. So we'll see. I might have to make another chapter. I'm at the 16-minute mark right now, so just be ready that in a few minutes it's going to cut me off. But anyway, another interesting thing was that, after all of the cleansing work was done, right after I started the fiery wall of protection ritual, this male witch actually called my client again. What she has not called since the blood moon. He called him again right after I started the fiery wall of protection ritual. And he's like, we need to talk. We need to talk about something very important and all this. So that just confirmed to everyone that this male witch felt his curse break, and he felt the power of it. He probably felt the demon's return, and he was aware that the curse had been broken. So it was all just confirmation to us, y'all, and I just wanted to share all this as an update. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video off because I know it's gonna cut me off anyways. But that is basically everything I needed to say as the update. So there you go, y'all. It's taken care of. This my client had previously gone to another witch, which I'm pretty sure was a con artist, because this witch charged him $500, y'all, to do cleansing work, and in the end ended up telling my client that they could not break the death curse and that my client would probably not live to see 2016. So, you know, you gotta be careful, y'all. If you're not a witch and if you're just watching this and you're thinking about if you're under some circumstance and you need a cleanser, be careful who you choose. Be discerning, y'all, because I usually won't even charge more than $50 to do spell work for a client. Because I'm an honest person and I know that I really want to help people more than I want to get money from them, okay? So, you just gotta be careful, y'all. But, yeah. This poor man, he had paid $500 only to turn around and be told that he was gonna die by 2016, that there was nothing that witch can do to help him. So, yeah, I broke the curse with my friends, y'all, with my mom and with my witchy friend. We took care of it. So, alright, that's the update, y'all. It was really amazing to work with Saint Michael, Archangel Michael, really for the first time in my life, which a psychic told me long ago that I was always supposed to be working with angels. And so the time that she told me that, I laughed it off and I was like, angels, yeah, right, I'm never going to work with them. But now all these years later, you know, she's probably going to get the final laugh because she was right. It's all led to this. Alright, y'all. Hail to the witches and blessed be.